Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today we are talking about something that millions of people experience but rarely discuss openly: social anxiety at family events. And this might seem paradoxical at first. These are people you have known your whole life, people who theoretically love you. Gatherings that are supposed to feel warm and comfortable. So why do family events trigger such intense anxiety for so many people? Why do holidays and reunions fill you with dread rather than excitement? Why do you spend the weeks before a family gathering feeling anxious, the event itself feeling like you are performing or hiding, and the aftermath ruminating about everything you said or did? If you experience this, you are not alone, you are not broken. And there are specific psychological reasons why family dynamics can be particularly anxiety-inducing. So today, we're breaking down the psychology of social anxiety in family contexts, why family can be uniquely triggering even compared to strangers, the specific situations and dynamics that amplify anxiety, the costs of avoiding or enduring these events, and practical strategies for managing social anxiety around family so you can survive and maybe even find some genuine connection in these gatherings. Let us start by understanding what social anxiety actually is, because it is more than just being shy or introverted. Social anxiety disorder, also called social phobia, is characterized by intense fear of social situations where you might be judged, evaluated, embarrassed, or rejected. It involves persistent worry about being negatively evaluated by others, fear of showing anxiety symptoms that others will notice, avoidance of feared social situations, and significant distress or impairment in functioning. But you do not need to have diagnosed social anxiety disorder to experience social anxiety. Many people have subclinical social anxiety that still causes significant distress in certain contexts. The core of social anxiety is fear of negative evaluation, combined with belief that you will behave in ways that are humiliating or unacceptable, and that others will judge you harshly for it. Your brain is essentially running a threat detection program where social judgment is the threat, and it keeps you hypervigilant to any sign that people are thinking negatively about you. Now let us talk about why family events can be particularly anxiety-provoking, even more so than interactions with strangers or acquaintances. First, there is the weight of history and established roles. Your family has known you your entire life, which means they have fixed ideas about who you are, what you are like, and what role you play in the family system. Maybe you are the quiet one, the sensitive one, the disappointing one, the successful one, or the black sheep. These roles were often assigned in childhood and can feel impossible to escape. When you are with family, you might feel pressure to perform your assigned role even if it no longer fits who you are. Or you might feel anxiety about challenging the role and how family will react. There is also less ability to control your narrative. With new people, you can present yourself however you choose. But family already has a story about you that is difficult to revise. Second, there is the issue of unconditional acceptance versus conditional belonging. Family is supposed to love you unconditionally, but the reality is often more complicated. Many people feel that family acceptance is actually quite conditional based on your achievements, your life choices, your conformity to family values, or your ability to meet family expectations. If you feel that you do not measure up to what your family wants you to be, family gatherings become situations where your inadequacy or differentness is on display. You might be anxious about questions regarding your career, relationship status, weight, life choices, or any area where you feel you are falling short of family expectations. Third, there are old wounds and unresolved conflicts. Family relationships often carry years or decades of hurts, misunderstandings, resentments, and unspoken tensions. Being in a room with people who have hurt you, dismissed you, compare you unfavorably to siblings, or failed to protect or understand you is inherently anxiety-inducing. You might be bracing for criticism, preparing to defend yourself, or walking on eggshells to avoid triggering old conflicts. The anxiety is not irrational, it is based on real history of negative interactions. Fourth, there is the complexity of family dynamics and alliances. Family systems are intricate webs of relationships, and you have to navigate not just your one-on-one relationships with each person, but also the dynamics between them. You might be anxious about being pulled into triangulation where you are asked to take sides, or about managing parents who do not get along, or about siblings who resent you, or about in-laws who make you uncomfortable. The social navigation required is genuinely complex and anxiety-producing. Fifth, there is often a lack of escape options. At a party with acquaintances, you can leave whenever you want. At family events, there are expectations about attendance and duration, and leaving early can cause drama, hurt feelings, or be used as evidence that you are difficult or do not care about family. This trapped feeling increases anxiety because you know you cannot escape if things become too overwhelming. 6. There is the issue of forced intimacy with people who may not actually know you well or respect your boundaries. Just because someone is family does not mean they have earned the right to ask invasive questions or make personal comments. But family gatherings often involve exactly these questions about your body, your romantic life, your money, your choices that would be completely inappropriate from strangers, but are somehow expected from family. And seventh, there is the performance pressure and scrutiny. You are not just attending, you are being observed, compared to siblings or cousins, evaluated on how you look, what you have achieved, how you behave. For people with social anxiety, this level of observation and evaluation is precisely what triggers their fear response. Let us discuss specific situations within family events that are particularly anxiety-inducing. First, there is the arrival moment. Walking into a room full of people, all eyes turning toward you, having to greet everyone, feel questions about why you are late or early, and navigate the initial social interactions. This entry is often the peak anxiety moment. Second, there are meal times where you are stuck at a table unable to escape. Conversation is expected, and there is pressure to eat while anxious, which can be difficult. Third, there are intrusive questions about sensitive topics. When are you getting married? Why are you still single? Have you gained weight? What is happening with your job? Why do not you call more often? These questions feel like attacks or judgments disguised as concern. Fourth, there are comparisons to siblings, cousins, or even your younger self. Someone mentioning how well your sibling is doing, or how different you are from how you used to be, or why you cannot be more like someone else. Comparisons are inherently invalidating and anxiety-producing. Fifth, there are political or values-based conflicts where family members hold very different views and either expect you to agree, argue with you, or make comments that violate your values. You are caught between staying silent and being inauthentic, or speaking up and causing conflict. Sixth, there are comments about your appearance, body, or presentation. Family often feels entitled to comment on your weight, clothing, hair, or overall appearance in ways that are hurtful or triggering. And seventh, there is the pressure to perform happiness or togetherness. Even if you are struggling, even if the family dynamic is dysfunctional, there is often pressure to pretend everything is fine, smile for photos, and participate in the illusion of the happy family. This inauthenticity is exhausting and anxiety-producing. Now let us talk about how social anxiety manifests at family events, because it is important to recognize these patterns. You might engage in safety behaviors, staying physically close to one trusted person, keeping busy with tasks like helping in the kitchen to avoid conversation, positioning yourself at the edge of groups rather than the center, having your phone as a security object, or drinking alcohol to manage anxiety. These behaviors provide temporary relief but maintain anxiety long-term because you never learn that you can handle the situation without them. You might experience physical symptoms: racing heart, sweating, blushing, trembling, nausea, needing to use the bathroom frequently. These symptoms can be embarrassing and create more anxiety about others noticing. You might engage in excessive self-monitoring, constantly analyzing your own behavior, replaying conversations in your head, worrying about how you are coming across, scanning others for signs of judgment. This self-focus makes natural interaction nearly impossible. You might also experience anticipatory anxiety for days or weeks before the event, dreading it. Imagining all the things that could go wrong, losing sleep, feeling physically ill as it approaches. And you probably engage in extensive post-event rumination, replaying every interaction, analyzing everything you said, cringing at moments you perceive as embarrassing or awkward, convincing yourself that everyone thinks negatively of you. This rumination maintains the anxiety and makes future family events even more dreaded. Some people cope through avoidance, making excuses not to attend, arriving late and leaving early, or cutting contact with family entirely. While avoidance provides immediate relief, it often creates guilt, damages relationships, and prevents you from ever updating your fears about what will happen. Let us discuss the costs of unmanaged social anxiety around family. First, there's the cost to family relationships. If anxiety causes you to avoid family or be distant when you do attend, relationships suffer. You might miss opportunities for genuine connection with family members you actually care about because anxiety makes all family interaction feel threatening. Second, there is the identity cost. If you cannot be authentic around family, if you are always performing or hiding, you lose connection to your true self and family never really knows you. This inauthenticity is exhausting and creates existential loneliness. Third, there is the mental health cost. Chronic anxiety, especially when combined with the guilt and rumination that family anxiety produces, takes a serious toll on overall mental well-being. Fourth, there is the cost of missed experiences and memories. Life events, holidays, and family milestones pass by, and anxiety prevents you from being fully present or participating meaningfully. So what actually helps manage social anxiety at family events? Let us start with preparation and mindset shifts. First, adjust your expectations. Stop expecting family to be different than they are, or hoping that this time will magically be anxiety-free. Accept that discomfort will likely be present, and that is okay. You can tolerate discomfort without it destroying you. Second, identify your specific triggers and plan for them. If you know Uncle Bob asks invasive questions, prepare a polite deflection in advance. If mealtimes are hardest, have a plan for excusing yourself if needed. Having strategies ready reduces the anxiety of feeling caught off guard. Third, remind yourself that you are an adult now with agency. You are not the powerless child you once were. You can set boundaries, you can leave, you can choose how much to engage. This sense of control reduces anxiety. Fourth, practice self-compassion. You have anxiety for understandable reasons based on your history and brain wiring. Stop beating yourself up for feeling anxious and start treating yourself with the kindness you would show a good friend. Now let us discuss in-the-moment strategies. First, use grounding techniques when anxiety spikes. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear. This brings you back to the present moment rather than the catastrophic future your anxiety is predicting. Second, practice mindful breathing. Slow, deep breaths with extended exhales activate your parasympathetic nervous system and counteract the physical anxiety response. You can do this discreetly anywhere. Third, challenge catastrophic thoughts. When you notice yourself thinking everyone is judging me or this is going to be terrible, pause and question it. What evidence do you actually have? What is a more realistic thought? Most people are focused on themselves, not critiquing you. Fourth, focus on curiosity rather than performance. Instead of monitoring how you are coming across, get genuinely curious about the other person. Ask questions, listen actively. This shifts attention outward and makes interaction feel less threatening. Fifth, give yourself permission to take breaks. Excuse yourself to the bathroom, step outside for air, take a walk. Brief escapes reduce the trapped feeling and let your nervous system reset. Sixth, limit alcohol use as a coping mechanism. While it temporarily reduces anxiety, it can lead to dependence and often creates more anxiety later as you worry about what you said or did while drinking. And seventh, connect with allies. If there are family members who feel safe and understanding, stay close to them. Their presence can buffer anxiety and provide support. Let us talk about boundary setting, which is critical but challenging. You have the right to boundaries even with family. Practice saying things like, "I would rather not discuss that, I need to step outside for a moment." Or, "I appreciate your concern but I am handling it." Boundaries will likely be tested or met with guilt-tripping, but holding them anyway is essential for your well-being. You do not owe family access to every part of your life or tolerance for behavior that harms you. It is also okay to limit contact with family members or dynamics that are genuinely toxic. Blood relation does not obligate you to subject yourself to harm. For long-term management, consider working with a therapist, particularly one trained in cognitive behavioral therapy for social anxiety. Therapy can help you process family-related wounds, develop better coping strategies, and gradually reduce the intensity of anxiety through exposure and cognitive restructuring. You might also benefit from assertiveness training to practice setting boundaries and expressing yourself. And some people find that medication, particularly SSRIs, can reduce baseline anxiety enough to make family interactions more manageable. One final important point. Sometimes the healthiest choice is to not attend or to limit contact. If family events are genuinely harmful to your mental health, if they involve abuse or severe dysfunction, you do not have to participate. The cultural expectation that you must maintain family relationships regardless of how toxic they are is not valid. You are allowed to protect yourself, even from family. Your mental health and well-being matter more than maintaining appearances or meeting family obligations. If this video resonated with you, please share it because so many people suffer through family events in silence, thinking they are the only ones who feel this way. Drop a comment. What is your biggest challenge with family gatherings, and what strategies help you? And remember, social anxiety around family is valid, understandable, and manageable. You are not broken for feeling anxious around people who have a complicated history with you. With the right strategies and support, you can navigate family events more comfortably. Or you can make the empowered choice to limit or eliminate contact if that is what your well-being requires. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.